You've probably heard of neuroscientists studying the body's intricate wiring. Researchers at places like Johns Hopkins have done incredible work on one nerve in particular, looking at how it can help treat things like depression and epilepsy. But outside the lab, in popular media and spiritual circles, this same nerve has been given a much more powerful, almost mythical name, the God nerve. And there's a story that goes with it. The story alleges that a classified 4-minute protocol was given to a group of struggling businessmen. The results were supposedly so fast, so profound, that the entire study was buried. Why? Because the secret they allegedly found was that you don't manifest with your mind. You manifest by changing your body's biological state. Today, we're going to pull that story apart. We'll separate the very real science from the speculation. We'll explore the incredible power of this nerve, and I'm going to show you the exact 4-minute protocol they supposedly used, so you can understand the science behind it for yourself. If you feel stuck, like you're visualizing, affirming, and doing everything you're supposed to do, but nothing's changing, I need you to hear this: it's not your fault. And you are definitely not alone. So many of us are trying to force change from the top down. We try to wrestle our thoughts into positivity, believing that if we just think differently, our reality will change. But for most of us, it just feels like spinning wheels in the mud. The frustration builds. You see other people getting what they want, and you can't help but wonder, what am I doing wrong? What am I missing? The missing piece isn't in your head. It's in your body. See, your body has its own agenda, an unconscious machinery called the autonomic nervous system that's hardwired to keep you alive. It has two main settings: fight or flight and rest and digest. The fight or flight response is for survival. When your ancestors saw a tiger, their body flooded with cortisol and adrenaline. Heart rate skyrocketed, pupils dilated, all so they could run or fight. It's a state designed for short, intense threats. The rest and digest response is for everything else: safety, healing, creativity, and connection. It's the state where your body repairs itself and your mind can actually be open to new possibilities. Here's the problem in our modern world: the tigers are gone, but our threat detection system is firing all day long. That email from your boss, a bill in the mail, scrolling through stressful news, each one can trigger a low-grade, chronic fight or flight response. Your body is constantly clenched, waiting for a threat that never fully arrives and never really leaves. When your body is biologically stuck in survival mode, it doesn't matter how many affirmations you repeat. Your physical reality, your biological state, is screaming danger. It's a state of scarcity and anxiety. In that state, your brain isn't looking for opportunities, it's looking for the next threat. It's not open to abundance, it's guarding its resources. You've been trying to update the software of your mind, but the hardware of your body has been locked in survival mode. To truly manifest, to draw in those impossible coincidences, you first have to flip that biological switch. You have to tell your body, on a cellular level, that it is safe. And the master key to doing that is one extraordinary nerve. So, what is this master key? In a textbook, it's called the vagus nerve. The name vagus is Latin for wanderer, which is perfect. It's the longest and most complex of our cranial nerves, wandering from the brainstem down through the chest and into the abdomen, connecting your brain to nearly every major organ: your heart, your lungs, your gut. It's a massive information superhighway, and about 80% of the traffic is flowing from your body to your brain. Think about that. The vast majority of the conversation is your body telling your brain what's going on. This is where gut feelings come from. It's your gut, full of neurons, talking directly to your brain through this incredible nerve. The vagus nerve is the main lever of your rest and digest system. When it's active, it slows your heart rate, deepens your breathing, and sends a wave of calm through your entire body. Now, that name, the God nerve, you won't find that in a textbook. That name comes from a more poetic place, an attempt to describe its function. This nerve physically connects our voice to our heart, and our heart to our gut. It bridges our conscious thoughts with our deepest bodily instincts. Ancient yogis spoke of life force energy, or prana, flowing through channels in the body. The vagus nerve is basically the neuroscientific discovery of one of those master channels. To really get its power, we can look at a compelling model known as the polyvagal theory, developed by Dr. Stephen Porges. He gives us a map of our nervous system with three main states, like a ladder. At the top of the ladder is the ventral vagal state. This is where you want to live. It's the safe and social zone. When you're here, you feel calm, connected, creative, and grounded. This is the biological state of abundance. One rung down is the sympathetic fight-or-flight state. This is mobilization. Anxiety, worry, and panic live here. Your body is revved up to handle a threat. And at the very bottom of the ladder is the oldest response, the dorsal vagal state. This is the freeze response. When a threat feels so overwhelming that you can't fight or run, the body just shuts down. Think of a possum playing dead. This is a state of hopelessness, dissociation, and feeling completely stuck. Many of us spend our days bouncing between the anxiety of fight or flight and the shutdown of freeze, rarely ever getting to that calm, creative, safe and social state at the top. Activating the God nerve is really about learning to climb that ladder on purpose. It's about consciously telling your physiology, hey, we're safe now. This isn't a metaphor, it's a biological skill. And when you learn it, you change the very state your body operates from. Okay, the word frequency can sound a little out there, so let's ground it in some hard science. When we talk about changing your body's biological frequency, we're really talking about a measurable, physiological state known as vagal tone. Think of it like muscle tone. Good muscle tone means your muscles are strong and responsive. High vagal tone means your vagus nerve is strong and responsive. This means your body is amazing at regulating itself. When you get stressed out, someone with high vagal tone recovers quickly. Their heart rate comes back to normal faster, and they easily shift out of that fight-or-flight mode. Someone with low vagal tone gets stuck. The stress lingers, leading to chronic anxiety and inflammation. So how do we measure this? The number one way is with something called heart rate variability, or HRV. You might think a healthy heart beats like a metronome, steady and even. But it's actually the opposite. A healthy, resilient heart is constantly adapting. The time between your heartbeats should always be changing slightly. That's HRV. When you breathe in, your heart rate speeds up a little. When you breathe out, the vagus nerve hits the brakes, and your heart rate slows down. High HRV means there's a big difference between your inhale and exhale heart rates, which shows your nervous system is adaptable and you have high vagal tone. Elite athletes and Navy SEALs, people who have to be calm under pressure, consistently have high HRV. On the flip side, low HRV is linked to a range of health problems, including heart disease and depression. This is the real biological frequency. It's the literal, measurable rhythm of your heart, which is dictated by the state of your nervous system. Low vagal tone creates a chaotic, stressed rhythm. High vagal tone creates a smooth, coherent rhythm of calm and resilience. Now, Some organizations, like the HeartMath Institute, have researched how these coherent heart rhythms create an electromagnetic field. They propose this field can influence our environment, though these ideas aren't yet part of the mainstream scientific consensus. What is undeniable is the effect this state has on you. When your body is in that high coherent state, your brain works better. The prefrontal cortex, your center for planning and creativity, comes fully online. You see more options. You make smarter decisions. You connect with people more easily. This is the real secret behind the manifestation stories. You aren't magically pulling things out of thin air. You are shifting your biology into a state where you are physically and mentally able to create, notice, and act on opportunities that were completely invisible to you when you were stuck in survival mode. And the best part? You can train your vagal tone and increase your HRV. In just a few minutes a day. Alright, let's get to the core of it, the alleged 4-minute protocol. Let's break down each step from the story and look at the real neuroscience that explains why these techniques can actually shift your biological state. The goal is to manually activate the vagus nerve and move yourself up that ladder into a state of calm and coherence. Step 1. The vagal reset posture, 60 seconds. First, find a comfortable spot to sit on the floor, either on your heels or cross-legged. Gently fold forward and let your forehead rest on the floor. If that's too much, just place a cushion under your forehead. Your arms can be stretched out in front or resting alongside your body. The key is to have your head below the level of your heart. The story claims this simple posture triggers the diving reflex. This is a bit of an oversimplification, but it's not entirely wrong. What's really happening is that this posture can stimulate parts of a powerful, ancient reflex called the mammalian diving reflex. This reflex is most powerfully triggered when your face is submerged in cold water, but pressure changes in the face and head can contribute. This activation tells the vagus nerve to slow the heart rate to conserve oxygen, which immediately puts the brakes on your fight-or-flight response. It's a physiological shortcut to calm. Step 2, the 4-7-8 hum and swallow, 2 minutes. While you're still in that forward fold, you'll start a specific breathing pattern. It's a twist on the famous 4-7-8 breath, a technique popularized by Dr. Andrew Weil. Here's how it goes. 1. Breathe out completely through your mouth. 2. Breathe in quietly through your nose for a count of 4. 3. Hold your breath for a count of 7. 4. Now, exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 counts while making a deep, low-pitched humming sound. A hum or voo sound. Feel the vibration in your throat and chest. 5. Right at the end of the exhale, when you feel out of air, swallow. Repeat that cycle for 2 minutes. Let's break down why this works. The long exhale already activates your rest and digest system. The humming adds another layer of direct stimulation, as the vibrations physically massage the vagus nerve right where it passes through your vocal cords. Studies show humming can lower your heart rate and increase HRV. What about the swallow? The story claims this amplifies the vagal signal by 300%. While that number appears to be completely made up, the action itself is useful. Swallowing does stimulate a branch of the vagus nerve in your throat. So, adding it at the end of a calming exhale gives your nervous system one more clear signal to relax. Step 3, Coherence Focus, 60 seconds. For the last minute, slowly come up to a comfortable, seated position. Keep your eyes closed. Now for 2 small adjustments from yogic tradition. 1. Gently press the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Just a light touch. 2. Gently engage your pelvic floor muscles, the ones you'd use to stop the flow of urine. Again, a gentle lift, not a hard clench. As you hold these, bring all of your attention to the center of your chest, your heart space. Just breathe normally and feel. Feel the calm you've just created. The story might call this an energetic circuit, but there's a neurological basis. Touching your tongue to your palate can stimulate nerves connected to the brainstem, furthering the relaxation response. Engaging the pelvic floor helps ground your body. But most importantly, this step is about embodiment. By focusing your awareness on your heart, you are consciously inhabiting this new state of coherence. Research suggests that focusing on positive emotions centered in the heart can lead to more orderly heart rhythms. You're teaching your mind and body what this new baseline of calm feels like. And that's it. 4 minutes. For steps that use your body's own wiring to shift you from stress to calm. It's not magic, it's applied neuroscience. So let's go back to the story of those businessmen. Did this protocol turn them into magnates who magically attracted million-dollar deals? Almost certainly not. But that doesn't mean their lives didn't radically change. The mechanism is just different, and frankly, far more empowering. Here's what really happens when you consistently shift your body into that calm, connected, ventral vagal state. First, your perception changes. When you're stressed, you get tunnel vision. Your brain literally filters out anything that isn't a threat. When you move into a state of safety, your perception physically broadens. You become more curious. You notice an offhand comment that sparks an idea. You see a connection with someone you would have ignored. The coincidences were probably there all along, you just didn't have the biological capacity to see them. Second, your decision-making improves. Chronic stress cripples the part of your brain used for rational thought. You make reactive, fear-based choices. When you regulate your nervous system, you bring your executive brain back online. You think clearly, assess situations accurately, and make choices aligned with your goals, not your fears. Third, your social connections deepen. The ventral vagal state is the social engagement system. When you're in it, you're better at listening, your tone of voice is more engaging, and people feel safer and more trusting around you. Deals aren't just manifested, they are built on trust and relationships. When you show up as a calm, open, grounded person, the quality of your interactions transforms. The manifestation isn't magic. It's connection. It's the natural result of a regulated nervous system. You see more, you decide better, and you connect more deeply. The world doesn't change, you do. And when you do, your entire experience of the world changes with it. Conclusion and CTA. We started with a mysterious story and ended with the real science of our own nervous system. The power to change your life isn't in some secret chant. It's hardwired into your biology. It's in the wandering path of the vagus nerve, this so-called God nerve that connects your mind to your body and your state of survival to your state of creation. This isn't about just thinking positive. It's about learning to be different on a physiological level. It's about shifting your biological state from one of stress and scarcity to one of calm, coherence, and openness. You now have the knowledge and a simple, 4-minute tool based on real science that can help you retrain your nervous system. The power has been inside you all along. So, here's my challenge to you. Don't just take my word for it. Try it. Commit to this 4-minute protocol every day for 1 week. Then, come back to this video and share what you notice in the comments. Tell us about the happy coincidences, the moments of clarity, or just the feeling of calm that you experience. Let's learn from each other. And if you want to keep exploring the intersection of neuroscience and ancient wisdom, make sure you subscribe. The journey is just getting started.